Welcome to the Icaran sector, welcome to something a little bit different. I thought I'd hop on the bandwagon and have a look at some of the new contrast paints. So yeah, the contrast paints have just come out here in Japan, maybe a week or 2 weeks after they have in the rest of the world, probably. But I thought I would, have a look at them. I've only picked up 5 of them. So I've gone for the Black Legion, because that's I've heard good things about that one. Rattling Grime, because a bit of grime is always useful. I've gone for the Bad Moon Yellow. I thought about the Imperial Fist Yellow, but I thought I'd try that one out instead. Pilar Glacier, so an icy one could be fun. And then the Striking Scorpion Green, because it looks quite nice and vibrant. So what I'm going to do today, I've got a piece of the Pariah Nexus terrain. I'll see how it goes over metallics. I have this fella mainly for his wings. We'll see if we can do some wet blending with them. And I've got 3 Poxwalkers, one in Grey Seer, one in Wraithbone, and one in Chaos Black with Zenithal highlight of the Grey Seer. So no, this one's done in Grey Seer as well. So we'll see how they come out and how they look. So I think let's start with the metallic. Let's start with this nice, vibrant Striking Scorpion Green. I thought we'll try and see what it looks like over the gem. Alright, so looking down in the pot. Nice, vibrant colour. We'll give it a good shake. And let's apply it to this gem on the top. Have a raggedy brush, but just for the testing should be fine. Painting through the camera lens is a new experience. So that might be interesting blend with the Tesseract Glow. This is one of the newer paints I like a lot as well, actually. So that maybe if we thin some of this down with some Lamium Medium and run it over the top of this, that could be an interesting extra glow effect. We'll give that one a try shortly. So I think we'll do the outside gems in this yellow. We'll see how that one goes. Yeah, I think is it the Ball Red's supposed to be a good one as well? Yes, it looks like a nice vibrant colour. I'll set that one aside and let that one dry. But yeah, I do like the look of the green on the gems. Be an interesting choice to match with like Warp Lightning. So we'll do some comparisons on some of the models. We'll bring out some of the older contrast paints as well and run them next to each other. So let's try for the wet blend, and I want to blend these two together. I'm thinking green on the outside, wet blended into the blue in the middle. So we'll give them this makes a good shake as well. So let's just try one blob on the wing this side. It is a very nice, vibrant green. I'm liking that one a lot. This one looks to be a bit thinner in the pigment. Let's get a bit on. Yeah, seems to be quite glossy for the pair of them. Let's see how they go when they dry. But we will. Not the perfect wet blend. Also might not have been the right colour to do it with as well. Because this one seems to be a bit more ethermatic blue, seems to be a bit more transparent. Maybe the green might have been better thinned down and then pushed through. Let's try it again on the other side, maybe not so much green this time. Yeah, the green is still pushing through that one quite a bit more. Leave that one to dry. Let's see how they look. Might take a little bit longer for these ones to dry, maybe, than the other contrasts. Alright, let's keep trying with this ice blue. I think we need a sort of frozen poxwalker. So first of all, though, I'm going to find my skeleton horde. I'm going to push the skeleton horde on the bone protrusions first, and then we will give that a few seconds to dry. Right, so I've added in some Agros dunes for his boots, make them a little bit darker, and then some snakebite leather for his loincloth. So then we can go add in the ice blue and see what effect that has. This one might maybe need a couple of layers, and then we'll come back in and do some something with the boils. It's got a very long time that it stays wet though, so you do have time to move it around and stop it from pooling. That's pretty cool. And then his two legs. Probably should have got my painting handle out, but never mind. And moved it under his belly there. Alright, we will give him some time to dry, and we'll come back and take a look at him. So yeah, with this one you have to be really careful with the pooling, I think. There's quite a bit of pooling in some of the darker areas. Probably should have moved that around a bit more. But what I think I'm going to do, I might just... I've got Spacewolf Gray, which is a bit darker. I might just go in underneath and round the back under the darker areas, and I'll thin it down with some contrast medium, probably 2:1, and if needs to I can do a couple of layers. 2 parts contrast medium. Spacewolf Gray really need to shake up. I have a good bit, but you can still see there's a bit of the pigment on the bottom. Mix that around. Wet palettes are still something I'm kind of learning, but they're definitely useful. So we'll try pooling that into the darker areas there. Yeah, just trying to be a little bit selective on where it goes. Try and get some of the darker lines. Alright. Get some decent light on him. I think that has had a good effect. Right, I'm going to dry him and maybe put another layer on and then jump back in. Okay, so I've just added in a few more details. I took some thinned down orc flesh and used it in the like the boils to give it just a slightly different color, and then I did a second wash of the Spacewolf Gray, which I think just in the shadows and the recesses has worked really well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dry brush a little bit of grey sear, and then dry brush probably just down on some of the highlighted areas, the Ultheran Gray. Now this is an Uncle Atom tip, which I will share with everybody. Yeah, this is a makeup shop from our equivalent of the dollar store, and it works really, really well as a dry brush. The bristles are nice and soft. And again, the trick is just making sure you get rid of all of the paint, or almost all of the paint. Let's see if we can just pick on some. Just a few areas here. Just pick on the edges as much as possible. I'll just do some Ultheran Gray just on. Okay, yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Right. If I will stop saying right, that might be good. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some thinned down Striking Scorpion in his eyes and just dribbling down from his mouth. I think that will just make them pop just a little bit. Then I'll do the metallics, give him a snowy base, and we can jump back and see the finished product. So here we have the finished off product. Onto the metallics, I added some thinned down Rattling Grime, and that really worked quite nice. I'm happy with that. Overall though, I think this one is a bit of a miss. Yeah, it really didn't blend well. Barely any colour on the bits that are just pure that blue. Whereas the Striking Scorpion Green, I do like that. That's nice, bright and vibrant. But I think overall this model kind of works. I did put some thinned down Striking Scorpion into the pus to sort of make them pop a bit on top of the orc flesh. I think that worked quite well. The dry brushing I think really helped on this one, and the snow on the base as it's shambling forward. I think as a scheme of Poxwalkers, having a few of them like that, having an icy. There is somebody somewhere that has a ice themed Deathwatch army that have appeared on YouTube. Is it something wizard, something or other, which are very, very cool. And this might fit in with his scheme, I don't know, but I like the idea of trying an icy Poxwalker. So we've got the other two to test out. Let's see if we can do a more traditional Poxwalker, and we'll figure out what to do with this one, making this one probably quite a lot darker. So, right, we will change it for the next one. Just done some basics on this one, some of the skeleton horde, and washed it with a bit of Agrex, some wildwood on the hammer, and dark oath flesh on the main body, which I've dry brushed with Raglan Flesh Shade, and then I've added a very thin down oh no, sorry, not Raglan Flesh Shade, Rakath Flesh. So dry brush Rakath Flesh, and then thin down Raglan Flesh Shade just over the top. And I've kind of left his trousers, so I think we'll try Black Legion on those, see how dark that is. Let's get some on these trousers. Oh yes, that's very dark. Try not to get it on his skin. Move that around. Yeah, it moves around quite well. So I'll finish that off and then do the metallic pieces and jump back in. Okay, the Black Legion is very effective. One single coat and a bit of tidying up. And the metallics really pop off it. I'm impressed with that one. So I think what I'm going to do is going to darken down the metallics with some Rattling Grime, but I think I'm going to thin it down 1 to 1. Just, I think it looks fairly thin anyway, but I'd rather do a couple of layers of it rather than one layer being too much. So I'm going to run it over the metallics and run it down his legs here. So let's see how we're doing. Take some of the edge off. We're going to do it across his hand there. It's a bit grubby. Maybe just add a little bit in at the bottom here. Across there. All the metallics, dull them down a bit. There still should be a nice bit of metallic left. Okay, yeah. That works. I think let me put some more on his feet. Should be nice and grubby. Alright, we'll let that one dry off and then we'll come in. I want to try mixing some stuff up in his boils and things and see how that looks. I'm not sure how well it shows on camera, but in the highlights on the trousers that are left from the Wraithbone, the grime actually picks up on that and it should just give him a slightly dirtier look. I'm actually quite impressed with that. And it looks okay over the metallics. So what I'm going to do now is work on his stomach. So I think I'm going to try and layer a few things up. So I'm going to use this yellow, Blood Angel's red, and some shyish purple. And I will thin them all down and just see about layering them up slowly. So we'll start with some contrast medium and a little bit of purple for the very deepest recesses, sort of very bruisedy type colour. So we'll just put that into the crevices, into his boils, and run it under here. On his forehead, and then we've got something around the back. Yes, run it into the crevice, and just a little touch. How visible is that? Definitely on his stomach there. It's gone into the recesses nicely. And down his back. I should pick up some on his feet just before we do that. It's very nice, a little bit, just for some. Should bring in some color. All right. So that needs to dry. Yeah, that's had a really nice effect on the deeper recesses. So I've already thinned down my red, so let's just add, try to pick out some of the higher areas with the red. Again, just bringing in some different colors, and then the yellow will be the more pussy looking aspect of it, and probably give him yellow eyes as well. Right, we'll let that dry. Alright, so the reds have come through quite nicely. So we just need some yellow just on the top and then drag it down through different recesses and things. So start giving him some blobs in his eyes. How does that look? Just visible enough. All right, well, I think we can probably go ahead and base this guy and then jump back when that's finished. Today's quick lesson: be very, very careful leaving bases out in hot Tokyo sun. They do warp somewhat, but never mind. So yeah, he's based up. I did a bit more of the yellow running down over his trousers and around the back there as well. But overall, I am quite impressed with this guy. He needs a quick varnish, and then his Instagram shot. But yeah, the Black Legion and the nope, Rattling Grime, I'm quite impressed with. The Bandwagon Yellow, I'm also quite impressed with. Make sure the lids go on properly. So the next thing we need to do is look at this guy. Again, I'm going to pre-do the axe. Maybe some leather work on the on his trousers and boots and things. And the skin, we'll come back and look at that one shortly. Actually, on second thought, I think this video has gone on long enough, so I will paint this one up for Instagram phase later. So do check Instagram if you want to see the finished product for this one. But overall, I like Striking Scorpion. It's good over metallics. I did run some of the Tesseract Glow just down the edges, and I think that worked really, really well. So I will do more of that on metallics. I played around with the wing with Tesseract Blue, and I think that one's definitely a much more better blend than the icy color. This one I'm not so impressed with. I think there's going to be a time and a place for it. Somebody suggested maybe over a blue, so maybe we can run it over Techlic Blue or over like a Araman or Thousand Suns Blue and have a different effect, a bit more icy. But the model itself, I think it came out reasonably well. And yeah, and I'm liking the Black Legion and the Rattling Grime. I think they're some of my favourites to come out of this one so far. And I'll have to play around more with the Bandwagon Yellow. I'll have to try the Imperial Fist Yellow at some point as well. But yep, do check me out on Instagram, Icaran Sector. There are some more glamour shots of these guys, and yeah, when this one is finished, that'll go up there as well. Overall, I think the new contrast line looks pretty good. I need to test out more colours, and I probably will do over time. Again, follow along on Instagram to see different effects from that. But with that being said, thank you very much for watching, indulging me in a slightly different video for the bat reps. If you have enjoyed this one, you want to see more painting style videos, do leave a like and a comment. Subscribe to follow along. Usually we're a bat rep channel, but you know, always happy to try new things. So thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.